would you mind explaining to the audience what you do as your career?
Yeah. So I live in London now. I work at YouTube. And for basically most of the past 10 years, I've worked on YouTube with creators. But only the past 3 years have I been actually working at YouTube with creators. So I now work with some of our top gaming creators in the UK, and I just kind of try to help them build their business, get the most out of YouTube. So my job title is partner manager for gaming creators. I still work a little bit in football, and I think that might grow a little bit more as well. But prior to joining YouTube, I always just kind of worked in football. So I'm a rare American who's lucky enough to actually get to work in football.
Yeah. So do you what? So do you know when you say you work with creators, do you mean like getting them brand opportunities, or do you mean like actually giving them creative ideas, or like what do you actually do?
Yeah, it's a really good question. It changes. I think my role feels like it changes every day. It's different. And some creators need certain things and others need different help. I think it's less about, a lot of the creators that I work with have their own managers or kind of inboxes that people send branded opportunities to. So it's not always me trying to help broker that. Although sometimes those opportunities do come in through like our Google sales team, and I try to help out with that as much as I can. On the creative side, I don't really help with ideas as much as I would like to, although it's that's what I used to do in my past life. But now it's more so about helping with the product on YouTube. So YouTube Shorts is a big deal, live is a big deal, podcasting, all that kind of stuff. So trying to help advise creators on how to use the products, the suites on YouTube, basically, to get the most out of their business. So it's less about, giving specific creative advice or kind of helping with brand deals, and more so helping them with the YouTube product itself.
So if we go back, yeah, you mentioned before that you wanted to be in football. Yeah, what was the moment where you thought, I like football, I want to go into that, or what moment actually made you fall in love with the game of football?
That is a great question. For some reason, and so I grew up in America. I live in London now, as I mentioned, but I always grew up in America. And I grew up in a lot of really small towns too, like throughout the Midwest, where there's, a lot of American football that's played. So neither of my parents were super into football. So it wasn't like my dad's a Arsenal supporter and that got passed down. That was not the case for me. I just kind of, I have two brothers, and we all loved football. So I don't really know what it was that stuck out for us early on. But growing up, I didn't ever think that I would get to work in football. So I went to university. I have a biology degree. I wanted to be a doctor. Found out pretty quick at uni that I was not smart enough to be a doctor, so that was not going to happen. And I'll never forget the day after I graduated, I woke up thinking, oh my God, I've graduated, which is great, but like, now I definitely don't want to go to med school. What do I do? And all I really loved was football. And there's a channel no longer around on YouTube called Kick TV in America. It's basically like the US version of Copa 90.
Yeah.
And they're really kind of representing that fan voice in America. I got really lucky to get an internship with them. And yeah, never looked back. So that turned into full-time work with Major League Soccer. And then I worked at an agency after that. So just got lucky.